Hello everyone, welcome to Wheelspin Racing League's second round of the season at Japan. I do apologise, I've just commentated the whole way through the one-shot qualifying, which has decided the grid for this sprint race, 5-lap sprint race. So Tommy Real taking pole position. Oh, and Tommy Real and John Shamrock have made contact into turn one. Tommy Real gets a 2-second penalty for that contact. But they are both down at the back now and have a lot of ground to make up. So the two leaders from the one shot now down at the back. Well, Sky Pele's dropped to the back. He's gone off track himself in the first sector. Silver Eagles also had a moment in the first sector. So it's Tommy Real up to P12, then Shamrock's up to P10. And ahead of his teammate. Yellow's in sector 1 and 2. Sorry, that was just so exciting. I didn't get my details up. Okay, we've lost now. Silver Eagle and Sky Pele are both DNF'd out of the race. Yeah, I do apologise for missing the sprint race. It was, sorry, not the sprint race, the one-shot qualifying. I did commentate all the way through it. I did tell Lightstream to go onto the game feed, but for some reason it just ignored me and did its own thing. At least we're with you now. This is the main qualifying in a way, so just go down to Ghost Rider. He's closest to the driver in front. Stands. You see, all staying very close to each other, very uniform order going on. Back through into the first sector again. No gaps get created, we're just going to have one huge DRS train. Which will probably prevent most from getting overtaken. I think Tesco's gone off track. He's on the gravel, but he does recover it. And we'll continue on. Idle North picks up a corner cutting penalty. 2 seconds because it's a 5-lap race, so maybe not going to have the effect that the penalties do in the main race, but obviously not the opportunity to get out again. That's Tesco round again. He's come off the gravel, so his tyre's going to be so hot right now. His Axel makes up a place. I think Bob Dylan's maybe had a moment because he's got the McLaren all over the back of him as well now. Axel got ahead of him. McLaren now, Ghost Rider also gets ahead on the straights, but Bob looks like he's going again. So there's a battle between the two behind as well. Haas and the Ferrari side by side into the chicane. Ferrari defends it, but gains the place actually, the Ferrari, but come on, give me a better view than that, please, coders. Seeing if he can come back into turn 1. Dragon Shamrock's run a little bit wide, but recovers it as the McLaren has contact with Bob Dylan. They drop down the order now. Into place, just getting on with it at the front. RKA in P2, also much the same. Got Fentos quite close behind him. It's very close to well, in fact, RKA has just dropped out of the 1 second gap to winter place, so he's just lost the DRS, so that could allow Fentos to gain that position back, gain second place. As Tommy Real makes his way past Baz and into P6. Very fine recovery drive so far from both Drunken Shamrock and Tommy Real after the contacts into turn 1. Baz picks up 2 seconds as well. Tommy won't mind seeing, having just got past him. Fentos has dropped out of the 1 second all of a sudden. It's a large amount of time lost in a short space of track. Let's go to Baz. Still very tight. There's no real opportunities under the first DRS. section of the lap. Possibly Christo is right on the back of Baz now. So Tommy Real on the back of Shamrock and Christo on the back of Baz. Tommy Real ends up making a move on Shamrock. Can they avoid contact this time? So, at the moment it does look like let's go to Tommy Real. He may be making a move into the hairpin, we'll have to see. It's brake very late, but managed to make the corner very nicely. Who's going to get to the next corner on time? It does look like Tommy Real's got the place. But Dranko and Shamrock, I'm not too worried about that because Tommy's got the 2-second penalty. So all he needs to do is keep within that 2-second window. They are both catching now the back of Axel Robb. So, just looking it down. Dranko and Shamrock not giving up. Well, in fact, Tommy, I think, made a tiny mistake on the quick left-hander, and Dranko and Shamrock gets the place back. Is Tommy going to be able to make a move again under the DRS? No, he's not going to get side by side. So we'll continue on. Idle North has just gotten past Ghost Rider into turn 1, so that was done under DRS into turn 1. Again, Ghost Rider doesn't need to panic. Idle North's got a penalty, so that's going to be his place in a way. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Not entirely sure what that was for. RKA's caught right up on the back of Winter Place, look. It's going to push him to the line. So if we could snatch it, it'd be a fantastic, well, it's already a fantastic drive from RKA. That time the yellow flag is the McLaren of Ghost Rider, who has dropped back now to P11. So Tommy Real's just gone back past Junk and Shamrock, but again, Tommy's got the penalty, Shamrock doesn't, so whether that was fair or not, the stewards will have to decide that. But let's go to Winter Place as he crosses the line and wins the sprint race and takes pole position. RKA second, Fentos P3, Axel Robb P4, Drunken Shamrock P5 thanks to the Tommy Real penalty. Baz in P7, Idle North P8, Bob Dylan comes across the line for actually promoted to P8. Idle North drops to 9th. Christo then crosses the line P10, and Ghost Rider in the end Tesco DNF'd in the Haas. So Ghost Rider is going to cross the line and finish P11. So he comes through the chicane. He's got no front wing on his car whatsoever, but he just crossed the line. No worries at all. Over it goes. So not the end of the world starting P11. So good. So what we should be doing now, guys, is having just a short break, and then we'll be back for the main 50% event. So I'll just pop you onto the break screen and I'll be back with you. I just need to make myself a drink and I'll be back with you for the main race. So see you in a moment. Okay guys, back with you. As you can see on the screen, we're just readying up, ready to start 27 laps of Japan. A circuit hated by many, but a brilliant track. Has all sorts about it. People don't like the first sector, let's be honest. It could be a bit dodgy, a bit difficult to manoeuvre, and it's not the greatest track for overtaking either. But there are chances. Obviously, up the long straight up into the chicane, the home straight into turn one, the main opportunities. There is a chance as well into the hairpin if you're close enough to the person behind. We saw Tommy Roll make a move in the sprint race on that one. So it is possible. Just bear with me 1 second. Right then. So, just going to pop you. No, not refresh Lightstream again. Lightstream is great for streaming if you're doing it from a laptop. If you're doing it from a phone, it's actually quite difficult. Right then, so I'm going to pop you on the driver standings so we could take a quick look at that while we're just waiting for the formation lap to come up. Obviously, we're only one race in, but as you can see, the winner of the first race was Tommy Rill, who also picked up the fastest lap and has 26 points. Gary came P2 last week, unfortunately isn't able to race tonight, so he's on 18. Winter Place, our current champion, P3 in the Haas. Then Aston Martin P4 and P5, Silver Eagle and Reds 12 and 10. Fentos was P6, Christo P7, Axel Rob P8, Ghost Rider 9, and Baz picked up the final point. So that's our driver standings. I'll just let you know, and you can work it out from the drivers in a way, but the constructors, Williams lead the way with Tommy Rill's win, so 26 points for them. Aston Martin 22, McLaren 20, Haas 15, Red Bull 8, Ferrari 6, Mercedes 4, and Alfa Romeo on the 1. AlphaTauri and Alpine yet to score, but another chance this evening. Be pretty decent with the top 10 only picking up points if we could have all 10 teams having scored something come round 3. That'd be pretty impressive and show that we got things pretty close with the driver, or Bob has, and Reds. So, as exciting as that was, I'll pop you back to the game screen. So it's just a bit of pain. Lightstream on your mobile, you've got to keep, every time you want to change the screen, you've got to refresh, which is what I forgot to do for the 1 lap qualifying, which is why you were stuck on the starting soon screen while I'm chatting away to myself, basically. But not a major issue. Anyway, just waiting now for the guys to get a few minutes to do their setups and strategies and so on. Regarding strategy at Japan, multiple ways of going. To be fair, it is a track where the hards do work, so they can definitely come into the strategy, especially if there's a perfectly timed safety car for them. But I suspect most will be looking at doing a one-stop soft to medium or medium to soft. Probably depends where you are on the grid. But as I say, if a safety car comes in at the right time, at the right time, and somebody, particularly soft drivers, may take an early pit stop and switch to hards, gambling on the idea of there being no further safety cars. The countdown is done and we are on the grid. We've got the formation lap up first, and just make sure everybody moves. And they do, so everybody is with us, that's good. Let's just get the details up we're going to want. So we don't want lap delta, there's no need for that. Telemetry, I like to have position changes at the start so we can see if anybody drastically falls down. So, nothing else said yet is welcome to you all and thank you to you guys that have tuned in. Very kind. And I think we're going to enjoy a decent race. It's a shame we've just got the 14. There was a shout from Bob Dylan about maybe joining a race instead of commentating tonight, but it's just a 7-race season because we're fitting in one last season basically for before the new game release. So there's your predicted pit stop strategy. Look, so soft to hard or medium to hard. You can do soft to medium, so don't necessarily listen to that. Baz has been disqualified from the formation lap, but it's no real issue. He'll be with us for the start of the race. So I think we need to look at Winter Place has found himself in P1, look, despite the fact that he was third for the sprint, third on the one-shot qualifying. Tommy Rill and Drunken Shamrock had an incident into turn 1, which means they start P5 and P6 for the main event. RKA, I think, well, it might be a debut tonight. I think it is a debut in the AlphaTauri, starting P2, so a very good job from him so far this evening. And Fentos P3 start off in the podium positions. Definitely something to look out for though. Both Shamrock and Tommy Rill clearly quick around here, so they'll be looking out for them. But just looking down a bit, Silver Eagle starting P14 we'll be wanting to look out for, because I suspect they'll be looking to make their way through the pack as quickly as possible. But the lights are coming on. We've got 4, we've got 5. It's a long pulls, but they are out, and the Haas seems to move pretty well off the line. Winter Place, the 2 Mercedes are swamping Tommy Rill. Let's just see that they get through. Looks like everybody's got through safely. Turn 1 and 2. Oh, and just as I say that, Ghost Rider is round and has lost his wing. By the looks of it, on the exit of turn 1 and 2, so he's probably caught the curb and shot across into the barrier, unless there was contact with another driver. Baz has also dropped back. Difference is, though, I can't see any obvious damage on his car, so it looks like he's just up and going again. But Ghost Rider, always a bit frustrating when you're in this position, because your first lap of the race and having to crawl back round to the pits, losing so much time. You know, you're kind of already praying for a safety car, and the race is barely underway. So Winter Place, RKA, Fentos have all held their positions. Drunken Shamrock and Tommy Rill have all both gained a place. Bob Dylan also up 1. Christo's up 2. The biggest gainer after start actually was Sky Pele, who is up 3 places to 10th. So he's the biggest gainer. Obviously the 2 biggest losers are the ones down that have had spins at the start. And Ghost Rider. The only other person to lose places off the start actually has been Axel Robb, who's down 2. We've got Drunken Shamrock making a move on Fentos for P3. Gets it done nicely. Decent move from Drunken Shamrock. As we've got a virtual safety car. Ghost Rider has picked up a penalty, but it's Sky Pele who is out. He's lost it by the looks of it at turn 3 or 4. We'll go on board with Silver Eagle. We may be able to see it, or the car may get cleared just before we reach it. We'll have to see. Careful exiting the pits, guys, because it's virtual safety car. It's so easy to get yourself a penalty. Unfortunately, the car did just get cleared just before we reached it, so we couldn't see exactly where they were. It's virtual safety cars just saved Silver Eagle a little bit because, I mean, obviously still 21 seconds behind Baz, but he's obviously that would have been, you know, that's within pit stop range still, so could have been worse. Obviously Ghost Rider would be wishing this was a full safety car rather than virtual, but never mind. Have all your own way. So Ventos then still on the back of Drunken Shamrock. Tommy's on the back of Ventos. Axel's on the back of Tommy, and Christo's pretty close there behind as well. And Bob Dylan behind that. In fact, yeah, still very close up in the top positions. DRS is enabled. We go again. So, did anybody get a move on the driver ahead? Doesn't look like it. We're with Tommy Roll at the moment. Looks like Ventos and Shamrock maybe caught him out a little bit. We've got a yellow again. It's a Haas, and it is Tesco. As Tommy Real picks up 3 seconds. So Tesco's had an incident there. So the closest man at the moment is here. This is Bob Dylan on the back of Christo. So it's Mercedes up against Ferrari, which after today's race at Spain in real life, maybe something we want to get used to seeing. As that Mercedes looks a lot better today. So Baz just got ahead of Tesco. Don't know if Tesco is having to pit or not. Well, I think he's going to have to because Baz is flown away from him, so clearly he must have some sort of damage there. Christo's actually looking to make a move on Axel Robb. He's on board with Christo. Doesn't quite get it done this lap. It's another one of those tracks, Japan, you need to be a little bit careful with your energy usage. Don't gain a massive amount of back each lap, so you really do just want to be using it for overtaking and defending where you need to. See Idle North now right on the back of Bob Dylan, who runs wide. And there is a Haas round again. And he's lost his right end plate on his front wing this time. So keep going, Ghost Rider. There's a Haas ahead of you that's going to have to pit this lap that you'll get ahead of. So Ventos. So Drunken Shamrock managed to get past Ventos with reasonable ease, but since then, Ventos, he's not been able to get away from Ventos at all, so still fighting. So RKA at the moment trying his best to stay on the back of Winter Place. He's just in and out of the DRS gap continuously. So Winter Place sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Sorry, let's have a quick look at the tyres because we didn't take a look at that. So Ventos then started on the mediums. No, sorry, that's my fault. Ventos started on the softs. Drunken Shamrock started on the mediums. Axel Robb started on the mediums, and Baz started on the mediums. So 3 drivers opting for the mediums from the start. Tesco's made it back round to the pits. Ghost Rider has opted to move to hard tyres early on for the first lap incident. Could be quite close between Tesco and Ghost. No, it's not. Ghost Rider's gone past now, look. So Tesco is still stationary. Off he goes. Set of mediums go on that car, so Ghost Rider up to 12th now, but within pit stop range of Silver Eagle as well. But unfortunately, as it stands, Silver Eagle's 14.5 seconds off of Baz, who's the last point scorer. But you don't give up at this point of a race because you don't know what's going to happen. There's a yellow at sector 1. I think that's Tesco again. I can't see any damage on his front wing this time, because I was about to say it's going to get expensive for Haas today, if there was, but looks like he's okay. Our closest chance of an overtake at the moment is Christo. No, it's not. It's Axel Robb on the back of Tommy Real. That's changed again. It's probably now Drunken Shamrock on the back of Fentos, actually, so just keep an eye on this. So just heading up to the hairpin. Goes round, and Fentos just has a little sort of oversteer moment on the exit. And there is a retirement. Silver Eagle is out from P11. Let's go on board with Ghost Rider. It's just yellow flag at the moment. He's approaching the car now. And that looks to me probably lost it on the inside curb of turn 3. And has been pulled to the left, taking him into the wall, unfortunately. Unlucky. He's not a... well, certainly not the first person to make that mistake, and will not be the last at Japan. No doubt that the first sector is possibly the hardest sector in the game. I think Jeddah probably rivals it now, but before Jeddah was about, I don't think any other sector was as hard as the first sector of Japan. Well, I suppose the whole lap of Monaco, maybe, but... Drunken Shamrock sticking on the back of Fentos. He's just waiting for the point where his mediums become the stronger tyre. That will happen. I'd suggest it's going to happen pretty soon. Just trying to keep an eye because there are other battles going on, so I don't want to stick with this one. Right, so yeah, no, I think we've got a closer one between Axel Robb and Christo at the moment. I'll keep an eye on Fentos and Drunken Shamrock. Christo, we've just come in on the long straight uphill leading up to the chicane. So we've got this left-hander first, which is flat out. And into the chicane they go. Obviously, Christo's going to pick up DRS on the main straight, and he's got a really good exit out of the chicane. This should be a pretty comfortable move. So Axel decides to stick to the racing line. Christo sends out the inside comfortably, gets the overtake done before we reach turn 1. Drunken Shamrock has also gone ahead as Tesco takes to the gravel once more. He's just waiting for clear moments. Just be careful, Tesco, because your tyres are going to be lit up again. Okay, so yeah, Drunken Shamrock had gotten past Fentos as well, so that was a very nice lap for Ferrari there. Both Ferraris gaining a place. So Rob at the moment sticking on the back of Christo. So we are definitely at the point where those softs are gonna become not as good as we should say as the mediums are. So just spacing out a little bit now. Rob is the closest on the back of Christo after Christo got ahead. Fentos picks up 3 seconds. Oh, and we've got another retirement. Baz is out. The next car to... It's a really strange place, actually. It looks like it's the fast left-hander before the chicane. So that is... Yeah, that's definitely a full safety car. That is going to move Ghost Rider into P10. He's back in the points. It just shows to go if you don't give up. Which he didn't. He's got a free pit stop as well to get off the hards if that's what he wants to do. Suggest it is. He's got more than enough gap behind Tesco to take the stop without losing a place. And probably mediums to the end is the correct thing to do. And, well, I wasted my breath. He's not. Mind you, we could take the pit stop on the next lap if we wanted to. Give the mediums one less lap to do. You would think that we're going to see all the soft guys come in. Whether the mediums follow suit and go to a set of hards, we'll have to see. But surely all of the soft drivers will pit for mediums now. It's basically a perfectly timed safety car for the soft drivers. So in comes Winter Place. I'm sure RKA would do the same and does. What does Drunken Shamrock do then? He stays out. Okay. So I wasn't sure if he would or not, but he has stayed out and taken track position to lead the race. Winter Place and RKA both go to hards. So it is a bit close, I must admit, for a set of mediums to go to the end. But if you take into account probably a couple more laps under safety car, I think the mediums are the better shout. Ventos thinks so. He switched to mediums. Tommy Real thinks so. He's gone to mediums as well. But Axel's gone hards. Christo mediums. Idle North mediums. Bob Dylan's gone hard. And let's just see Ghost Rider then. He's come on so straight. We'll see if he pits this time. So it's a completely free pit stop if he wants to. The Haas behind him is actually stuck. Having been lapped, is stuck behind the safety car, so he wasn't able to unlap himself while the others pitted, unfortunately. Just looking, who is he actually behind? No, he's behind Drunken Shamrock. Now, you're not allowed to do that, Tesco. He's going to do it anyway. Yeah, he's... So... no real shock there. Be careful, guys, because his car doesn't seem to be did. The game doesn't allow you to do that, Tesco. The only way that would have worked would be if Drunken Shamrock had driven off track to allow you through. Can't expect. You may well have been planning it for all you know, but because you took the matter into your own hands, you've been disqualified. Which completely ruins the joke I had ready. For if somebody else retired and he picked up a point despite being a lap down, he's going to give it the old every little helps for Haas, but he's ruined it basically. Ghost Rider then coming round, still didn't pit, but the safety car still won't come in because it'll be waiting for Ghost Rider Cap to get onto the back of the drain. So we shall see. He decides to pit this time. Surely he's going to pit. I'm aware he's not listening to me at the moment, so Axel Rob pits ahead of him. Maybe Axel picked up a pit lane penalty after 5 seconds and has decided to serve it. No, Ghost Rider stays out. I'm not really sure about that. Axel's got out ahead of him in a way on a fresh set of softs, mediums, so well, maybe I'll watch this back later and think, why, you know, why on earth didn't I pit? Just going to take a look at the penalties. So, out of the guys that started on mediums then, our current race leader, Drunken Shamrock, was the only one to opt to stay out. There's another reason why didn't Ghost Rider pit, because not only is he now stuck on slightly worn hards at the back, he had a 5-second penalty which he could have served under safety car. So Generally, I'm not sure as to why he wouldn't have pitted. Max was on a postcard. Perhaps he'll let us know the secret to his madness after the race. Actually, yeah. We don't need any detail for the moment. So, we're down to the 10 cars after 14 starts in the race. And close to the halfway point. We'll be re-going again on lap 12. So, everybody left on track now only has to finish the race to pick up points for their team. Safety car in this lap, so let's go to Winter Place and let's go on board with Winter Place and see if Shamrock can catch him out a bit on the restart. Kind of has a little bit, because I don't think for a second Winter Place would have been expecting him to go before the chicane. He's not got rid of Winter Place too brilliantly. It's just one down your... Well, everybody's seen... Oh, here's a battle. So this is Fentos and Idle North. Into turn 1. Here they come. It looks like Fentos is going to take that place. And is into P6. Yeah, so the Red Bull into P6. It's already dropped back from the Ferrari because of that battle, so I have to keep an eye on that. Just thinking constructors-wise, at the moment, both Ferraris still on track, both Mercedes still on track. Just trying to work out from the colours. I think that's it, isn't it, for both teams? Sorry, for both drivers of each team. Yeah, only 2 teams with both drivers still on track. So the Mercedes having a little moment out of the hairpin. Bob Dylan having a little moment. He's got his teammate Axel right up the back of him. Moves over, but I would think he actually moved over then and let him through. They stay pretty close for the next corner. But I think that was a team orders thing. Let Axel through. He seems to have a bit more pace at the moment. Look what's happened to Ghost Rider. He's already 2 seconds off the back. I'll get on it later. I think he'd be driving in a... I think he's driving in a racing commentator straight after this one, so... I'll get on it and tell him to sort his strategy out. Tommy Rill has recovered so far to P4. He's pretty close to RKA. Obviously, pretty much just needs to wait at the moment for DRS. So, tiny little moment there in the first sector, but nothing really to talk about. Sector, that's Axel Robb. After Bob Dylan lets his teammate through, Bob Dylan is out. Sorry, Axel Robb is out. So we're down to just the one Mercedes with Bob Dylan, and that has brought out our second full safety car. Right, so, Ghost Rider, pit. Start listening to me. Should have pit on the last one, or was it just genius? Deciding not to pit, now you're going to go so fresh set of mediums to the end. Oh, we've got to the point now, surely Drunken Shamrock has to pit off of those mediums. It's not... Unless he stays on them and goes to a set of softs to the end a bit later on. But I can't see that being a great strategy. Of course, if he pits now, he's going to drop right away down. Depends a little bit on the guys that opted for hard tyres, whether they decide to pit again for mediums or stay on the tyres they've opted for. So, Drunken Shamrock's in. Winter Place goes through, stays on the hard, so does RKA. Tommy is staying on the mediums that he'd just pitted for. Fentos stays out. Shamrock, Christo. Is that Ghost Rider staying out again? It is! It's insane. I think Ghost Rider's lost it. Ron Dennis was still the boss of McLaren. He'd be in his ear now. What are you doing, you nutter? But he now has track position in the sense he's up to P5, which seems a miracle from where we started in this race. So, interestingly, Drunken Shamrock has gone to a set of softs to the end. So has Bob Dylan. Christo, who's Drunken Shamrock's teammate, went for the hard compound, and Idle North's gone for the mediums. So, a bit interesting. I've got a message from Christo. Where have I got a message from Christo? Can I get an invite? Has Christo left, has he? Oh yeah, he's ghosting. Yeah, just a second, buddy. I will do it as quick as I can. S Christo 831. I don't know if I've got you on the friends list. I can't remember. So, S Christo. Sorry, mate. I never saw that come up at the bottom of the screen because that's where I have my little graphic of viewers and that. S Christo 8 3. You're not coming up, mate. Not that one. Dude, what is your gamer tag? Right, it's S Chris. Oh, it's double C. Safety car, Christo. Right, so let me just try this again. It's SS Christo. Oh, it's not SS, it's SC. Jesus. There we go, I think that's him. Yeah, it is. It says that you're in there, but just in case, I'll send you an invite anyway. Right, what did Bob... Not Bob Dylan, who was the other one? It was... Done that. Now I've got one from... Tommy Real needs an invite now. Okay. Oh, goodness me. Tommy Real, where are you? Sure, I've got you on the friends list. I have invite to game. There we go. Invite sent to you as well, Tommy. Christo's car is solidified, so it looks like he's back with us. So's Tommy, actually. I think they've both managed to get themselves in. I don't think they needed the... Oh! Tommy has a little moment. That might have been because he was taking the car back over, you know. It's quite possible. Everybody's called up now, so I think we are in this lap. Yeah, so safety car in this lap. Yeah, I don't think Chris is going to be massively amused having taken that car back over. He appears to be on 10 lap hold softs now. The game actually did exactly the same to me last night. Put me on... We started at Spain on mediums, moved to hard tyres. I had an instance, so went back to mediums, and it put me on the same lead on mediums I started the race on. As we get going again, in a way, Drunken Shamrock gets ahead of Ghost Rider straight off the start. And for me, Ghost Rider's going to be a bit of a sitting duck here. He's got Idle North behind him now on completely fresh mediums. Then he'll have Bob Dylan behind him on completely fresh softs. Tommy, all over the back of our KA, he's recovered it up to a podium position now, Tommy, but he'll be looking for more. I'm sure he will fancy if he can get past RKA quickly before Winter Place gets away. then I think Tommy will fancy winning this race. It would probably come down as to whether he can get far enough ahead of Winter Place to take the penalty into account. So let's go back to Idle North then. Is there anything he could do about Ghost Rider? It's a difficult part of the track, to be fair. So he may get a chance up into the chicane. So I'm just going to Drunken Shamrock and Fentos who are fighting for position, and Drunken Shamrock's gotten ahead of the Red Bull. He continues his charge up the field on his fresh soft tyres. Just it back to Ghost Rider. So you've got to wait the 3 laps again for the DRS to come into effect. But, so before that, it's just a case of whether they can actually get a move done. So we're right on board with Idle North to get an idea of what he's going through, trying to get... Oh, there's a yellow in sector 1, it's behind us, it's Bob Dylan, who's off track. See if we can get a view of that Mercedes to see if there's any damage. Doesn't appear to be, but he wants to be a bit careful, his tyres will be a bit lit up. So, it seems to be okay. If you're getting through the double right-hander like that, then you're probably okay. So, we'll go back to Ghost Rider and Idle North. They continue to battle. Still don't really understand Ghost Rider not oh, he's across the grass. That's brilliant recovery from Ghost Rider. It has lost in the position to Idle North on the straight, and I expect he's going to come under attack from Christo as well, but brilliantly recovered by Ghost Rider. Break for the chicane, and Ghost Rider seems to be ghosting. So have we lost Ghost Rider, or did he just go to AI? Right, I don't know if we've lost Ghost Rider. I'm just gonna again, I'm sure I've got him on my friends list, so I'm just gonna, yeah, he's in the main menu. Invite him, see if we can get him back in before he loses too much. It has been a bit of a problem recently with the F1 servers. They have been desyncing a lot recently, and it can be coincidence that it's always everybody's connection. It's definitely the servers. It's been happening huge amounts. In fact, I know for a fact that it happened in the race I was in a couple of Wednesdays back, and after we'd finally finished that race, we found out that 3 other races that were racing exactly the same time had to restart for exactly the same reasons. So it's definitely the F1 servers that are having a problem. Perhaps they're already focused on F122. And they're forgetting the rest of us. So let's come off the on-board camera. RKA, by the way, is right on the back of Winter Place for the lead. There's no tyre advantage here. They're both on 8-lap-old hards. So this appears to be that RKA has found some pace from somewhere that he perhaps didn't quite have earlier on. Just want to check on Ghost Rider. He's into the pits. Going on to softs to the end. So as we can see, we've got Winter Place followed by RKA, followed by Tommy Rill, followed by Drunken Shamrock, the top 4, all in the queue. Can anybody actually get a move done? RKA, if he can stick this close, he's got Tommy Rill really over the back of him now. As they head up through the left-hander, and then to the chicane once more. Ooh, RKA took a lot of curb on the exit. It's giving him a penalty for that as well, and I thought he might have got a bad exit, but see, in the end, he gets the lead. Does he? Yes, he gets the lead off of Winter Place. Tommy Reel's attacking Winter Place as well, but can't get a move on this lap. But you'd think it's just a matter of time with the tyre difference. The only question now really is, can RKA create a gap? Just wondering if something's happened to Winter Place. He seems to have lost a lot of pace. He's already fallen 3/4 of a second off of RKA, or whether it's just the pressure that's been put under. Tommy Reel looks to make a move up the inside at the hairpin. They're side by side on the exit. It looked like Winter Place got a slightly better exit. Oh! The Winter Place is into the wall! Well, be careful as you're coming round, everyone. That's going to be a safety car. But be careful, he's right in the middle of the track, on a corner. Oh, he's disappeared. He's been recovered. So, well, Ghost Rider would be happy to see that safety car. It's just actually, unfortunately, we were blinded of what happened. We just saw Winter Place coming out of the straight and his car in bits, so we might get an idea here. Tommy's into the pits. He's serving a penalty. Now, what I was really looking at there was if any damage was being replaced, but doesn't appear to have been so that suggests that maybe there wasn't contact, or maybe it just didn't cause him damage. We can't be sure, but I don't know how long it might take for Tommy to realise he's been put on 10-lap-old softs, like what happened to Christo. Christo now on fresh softs. Shamrock stayed on track, and so he's now up to P2. Fentos is back into P3. He's been in and out of that position all the way through the race, really. Tommy came out the pits in P4, but will not be thanking his engineers who have put him on 10-lap-old softs. Idlenorth, Christo both on fresh softs, and Bob Dylan and Ghost Riders are only a lap old, so fresh as well, really. But RKA's decision to stay out on hard tyres may come back to bite him now. Presuming it's not impossible we could get going next lap. It's going to be a late call if we do. Christo, Bob Dylan and Ghost Rider are still catching up to the back, so it's more likely we're going to get going again on lap 23. We are on the straight, the back three guys, but still a little way to go to catch up. So, safety car does stay out. So yeah, it's going to be lap 23, so 23, 24, 25, 26 and 27, so 5 laps remaining. RKA may be able to fend off Drunken Shamrock for the first 2 laps, but third lap of the 5 will of course see DRS come back in. I think now's a good a time as any to take a little look at the remaining penalties. So take a look at those. We've got 3 seconds for RKA at the front. Drunken Shamrock is penalty free and in a tremendous place now to win this race. Fentos has 6 seconds, unfortunately. Tommy Reel free. We just served 5 in the pits. may have been picked up for a severe collision, I'm not sure. Idle North is penalty free, which could see him, if he can stay close enough to the two guys ahead, potentially pick up a podium. And Christo's P6 on 3 seconds. Bob Dylan and Ghost Rider also penalty free, so could end up gaining a bit if they can stay close enough. Just coming in to the end of sector 2. So we will be riding on board with Drunken Shamrock for the restart. Restart earlier on was Drunken Shamrock in the lead, and he went before the chicane, so we'll have to see if he does the same here, but or if RKA does the same here, sorry, or whether he decides to go out of the chicane. So there's the confirmation from race control, safety car in this lap. 5 laps for Drunken Shamrock to get past RKA. Doesn't technically need to, of course, because he doesn't have a penalty. But he wouldn't want to risk that. He'd want to get the move done. So disappear. RKA leaving it late. The safety car is in, and RKA goes. He did seem to catch Drunken a little bit. Fentos, Tommy Reels having a look at Fentos. I think he's going to have to just bed in behind. So I'm going to lose out here now, so falls in behind now. Let's go to the broadcast cam now. The closest at the moment is actually Bob Dylan on the back of Christo. Again, Ghost Rider's been left behind on a safety car restart. Is he? He's not coasting, I think he is there. Tom Real picks up 3 seconds. So he's now got 6, meaning that's a genuine battle between him and Fentos. He's just gotten ahead of Fentos on track. Fentos, we want to stick with him because Tommy's been put on old tyres. He may struggle a little bit the last couple of laps. Christo on the back of Idle North. The truth of it was 6 seconds each. Tommy Real and Fentos could be in trouble at moving, both dropping to the back if the gap doesn't get created, which at the moment it's not being. To help them out a bit though, Bob Dylan picks up 3 seconds. His first penalty of the race. Idle North now absolutely odds on to pick up a podium. Also Drunken Shamrock right on the back of RKA still, but yet, so just makes it difficult. As I said earlier, it's not the easiest track for overtaking. It's, there's a few opportunities. As with any track, the best opportunities under the DRS. On the main straight. This is close. There's a couple further down. Fentos is right on the back of Tommy again. Idle North's right on the back of Fentos, so Idle North doesn't need to do anything here. He just needs to stay close. I get everybody is racers. They want to make the move on track, but you know, you've got a podium in the bag if you just sit behind. They have a corner cutting penalties that they've got to get the 6 seconds, so they're not going to be able to get them removed. So you can see Drunken Shamrock coming down towards RKA again, but he's actually found Tommy Real now right on his rear wing again in this race. Tommy Real sets the fastest lap of the race with 31.4. Shamrock goes to the outside to see if he can get past RKA. They're side by side with Tommy. Again, Tommy taking a sensible option just to fall in behind. It's not worth risking the points that you got in the bag. And the awkward part of sector 1, so just looking down, this still remains our closest battle at the moment. The pressure that Tommy's putting on Shamrock, as he has a look up the other side of the hairpin, they make contact, but no damage caused by the looks of it, and I think Tommy's got that position done. Yeah, he's gained that position, but obviously has those 6 seconds on the board. So the fighting between Drunken, Shamrock and Tommy has just enabled RKA to get away a little bit. So Drunken Shamrock still remains favourite to win this race as it stands. Working out, I'm going to switch the gap to leader. At the moment, Idle North would move up to P2, with RKA dropping to P3. So, just keep an eye on this. There's another battle behind, actually. Idle North on the back of Fentos, and Fentos in turn on the back of Drunken Shamrock. Mighty close. Is Fentos close enough to have a go into the hairpin? No, that was not to. So Fentos on Drunken. So it looks like Drunken Shamrock's opted for a higher wing ratio, and Bob Dylan picks up another 3 seconds. He's got more than 6 seconds to Ghost Rider, so have a look at this. Look at RKA right over on the right hand side of the track. So don't really have to worry RKA. See, he won't know that Tommy's been put on old tyres. And who was that? That was Christo. He spun it round. Ghost Rider goes past him. So Christo drops to 8th at the death. Turn 1 and 2, he spun it on the very last lap. So he'll still pick up points for bringing the car home in 8th place. Just trying to look. Oh, what's happened? Tommy Real is round on the double right-hander and has no front wing as well. It's ghosting. No front wing. Ghost Rider is catching him. Oh, he's ahead of him, really. So that will mean that Tommy Real will finish this race P8. Stands. Let's go to RKA on his debut. It's going to be tight over the line. RKA crosses the line. Drunken Shamrock, I think, is going to get promoted. He does. So Drunken Shamrock wins the Japanese Grand Prix. RKA takes P2 in the end. It's that instant with Tommy and able to create a gap. I'll wait for the board to actually count the rest of them down because there were some penalties around. So driver of the day from the game goes to Idle North. I may have to go with a game on that because it's almost impossible to pick one. There is some fantastic drives throughout the guys that finished, so as the Ferrari driver celebrates alongside the AlphaTauri driver, just 2 tenths away from victory in the end. RKA, but so Drunken Shamrock takes victory. RKA P2 with fastest lap 131.2. Idle North P3, Fentos 4, Ghost Rider 5, Bob Dylan 6, Christo 7th, and Tommy Real in P8 in the end. So yes, just looking at that, I don't think I can take the driver the day off of Idle North. He kept himself penalty free, started 9th on the grid, has ended up on the podium. I think that's deserving. Looking through the field, I think that's deserving a driver of the day, so I will completely go with the game on this one. So an eventful race. Let me just go to race director. I'll scroll through the incidents just in case the stewards need them. So there we have it. And so an eventful race in Wheelspin Racing League. We had 14 drivers start the race. We ended up with just 8 in the end. And incidents right up to the last lap. Brilliant drive on track from RKA. Did very well to keep the win on track, considering he stayed on the hards, but obviously just a 3-second penalty in the end, costing him the win by 2 tenths. But a debut 2nd place is not the worst debut in the world, let's put it that way. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to the top 3 guys, so Shamrock, RKN, Idle North. And we will be back next week. I'll just check out the calendar. So it's round 3, 29th of May, Azerbaijan, and it's a standard race weekend. So depending on numbers, we'll either do short qualifying or full qualifying, depending on the numbers, followed by the usual 50% race. Baku, my favourite track, so I will look forward to that one massively. Well done to all the finishers, all of you picking up points for your respective constructors, so congratulations. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in live while we've been racing. A massive thank you as well to anybody that watches it back at a later point. It's always very much appreciated, I assure you. So thank you to all of you.